Hello, my name is Katie and welcome back to Meet the Asanas. Today we're going to be doing another heart opener. We're going to meet Camel pose or Ustrasana. This can be a little bit intense, so I'll kind of show you in levels. So it's important, especially with back bending postures, to take it slow and do what is feeling okay for your body in that moment, right? What is okay one day might not be so okay the next day. So it's important to really pay attention to how you're feeling. So I recommend having some blocks. I'll kind of show you with blocks. And I don't have blocks, so I stacked a few books. This can also be a lot on the knees. So if you want to get a blanket to pad your knees, or you can just fold up your mat to create a little bit more padding. So we're going to come to kneeling and hips over the knees, engaging the abdomen. And let's start with our hands, palms pointing down at the low back. So imagine like pushing forward. So we want to kind of keep as if we're against a wall, right? And bending back from the middle and the upper spine. So think about lifting up and bending back. And then with your head, with your neck, you can do whatever's comfortable for you. You can keep your chin a little bit tucked. You can keep it back a little bit, gazing kind of at the ceiling or like kind of the corner there. And really just breathing deeply here. Keeping the abdomen engaged is going to help with this pinching in the low back. If you're already feeling pinching, back off a little bit, right? And don't go any further than this. All right, if this is feeling okay to you, you can release. Let me grab my books. So my book things aren't very high, so your blocks are probably going to be higher than that. So we can tuck the toes, reaching back, and think about shining the chest up, opening through the chest, and breathing, keeping the abdomen engaged. It's a little bit tricky because you're bending back, but keeping it engaged as much as you can. Inhale and exhale, contracting and coming back to seated. And a nice counter pose after doing a back bend like camel. Come into child's pose. You can come with the knees together and the hands behind you, resting your forehead on the mat. And this, you'll feel a nice decompression in the low back. And come up on an inhale. So what you would do, I couldn't really show you with blocks too much. These aren't really as high as a block would be. But you can place the blocks outside of your feet and place your hands on the block instead of your feet. So that the block kind of has different heights. You can put it on the short height or like a height like this, right? So that gives you a little bit more height than your foot would, generally. If you're feeling really open in your back and you've already done some warm up, you can keep the toes untucked, taking an inhale and exhaling back, one and the other, and letting the neck just kind of fall back, not completely back, but gazing at the ceiling. And we still want to think about keeping the pelvis up, as if you're kind of pushing it against a wall in front of you. And exhale as you come out. Coming into your counter pose, child's pose, forehead on the mat. Breathing, resetting the spine. So it's really important for these poses to come out as slowly as you go in, right? Because imagine your spine is really, really important, really sensitive, right? So we don't want to keep snap back and forth really fast, right? So we want to give it time. We're bending it in a way that it doesn't normally bend, so to snap right back can be dangerous. So it's important to really move on the breath as well and use that to assist you in going into and out of these postures, right? So that is our heart opening camel pose or Ustrasana. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time as we meet another asana. See you back on the mat. Bye.